Start rolling, okay? All right, it's running?
Yes, recording.
Okay, cool. All right, bro. Thank you. Okay. All right, so here's our 2-minute recap. So today, we're definitely implementing the pod. There's 4 of us on it currently. You know, definitely more exciting would be more with more voices and stuff right now, but we got 4 people on it. All right, so Sovereign is here, you guys. All right, so Sovereign is my friend from New Jersey, the one who was supposed to do the podcast at first and never did it, but his birthday was yesterday. I forgave him. He came to do the pod. Say what's up to the people.
You had to say all that, damn.
Hey, no, not to the fans. This is not going to the people. This is just us right here.
Wow. I'm about to say, damn, you gonna throw me out like that?
What's going on, bro?
I'm good.
Didn't you want to also bring up Sonic for the movie?
Yeah, we can talk about Sonic too. Now, how we're gonna do this podcast is we're definitely do it specifically where we talk about the news and stuff. So, any news that you've heard recently, you know, upcoming news, the rumors and stuff, feel free to talk about it. I also say sometimes, you know, you guys can drop your sources just in case people, you know, say like, where did that come from? You know, because a lot of times it could be like, source, trust me, bro. But you know, let's just try to sometimes, if you got a source, just say where you got that screenshot from, or this is from, you know, Other than that, after we do the updates for DC, anime, Marvel, and games, we're going to go directly into the versus statements, all right? So I already gave Sav the rundown specifically about how it's going to go. You know, we're going to do it. Nick is going to start us off this week. And then, you know, we're going to just go for that on that way. And everybody, you know, like I said, when everybody's speaking their part, so that when I'm editing and stuff, let's try not to interrupt each other and everything, just so like it's like clear, concise captions. And then I'm able to put your picture, like specifically for you guys on the phone. I'm able to put a picture representing you guys, and you know it could be like a full statement, not over anybody else's. Now, if you do got to, you know, interrupt somebody real quick, wait until somebody stop talking before you continue. All right, you know, so we can get that there, so that the full statement is there, and then I can just, you know, cut that little part out for this for the edit. But other than that, y'all already know how we finna do it, all right?
Do you want me to start with the game news, or I want to make sure?
No, you're starting with the gaming. You know how Mike started like last time when we were doing like popcorn. We was like, all right, so popcorn, we're gonna do it. Then Mike came up with the who you think is better, da da da. You're doing that first.
Okay, I got think of something to ask then. Shit.
Okay, I know it's on the spot, goddammit. But you'll see how it's gonna go from there, and then we'll go. We'll do the layout like that, and you know, generally who goes second, and I just kind of decide how we're gonna go. You know, just do it that way. Sav, you're our guest, so technically you're probably go after the Nick, but Nick is just gonna show you how it's gonna go first. All right. All right. Now, like I said, let's get started. Let's get ready. Everybody do their introductions and stuff. If you got somebody, Sav, what we do at first is right when it starts, you know, you say your social media handle if you want people to follow you or not, you know, whatever page, and then you just kind of say whatever page you're shouting out or whatever you do, so that the fans can actually follow you, because there has been numerous people that were looked at you guys' pages already from the clips. Okay, and they said, you know, some of them were saying, you know, you guys don't really have too much on your story or your pages yet, so wanted to tell you guys about that. But
oh yeah, no, I'm almost never on my fucking Instagram. I don't know what to post. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this.
Or I got you. I will develop that. But all right,
I could repost my armor streams. My armor shows. I have all shorts.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Yeah, because
I'm just thinking shit. I'm like,
this is image now. All right, but all right, now. Like I said, let's say we'll take us. Let's give it 10 more seconds, and we're gonna do the introductions. I'm gonna do the topic. Nick, you go right after that. Mike, you're after that, and then Sav, you finish it out with who you are. Just give a brief introduction, and then I'm gonna come in after you, and we're gonna do the updates, and then after that, we're gonna close it out with the debates. Okay?
Okay. This is my first time, so y'all gotta give me a break on some things, you know.
No, you're good. You're good. We're good.
If anything, just follow along with us.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm not used to all this.
No, yeah, I know. All right, let's do it. 10, 9. What's up, everybody? This is your host, AC Slater. You're listening to another episode of That Damn Podcast, that DC Anime Marvel podcast. Today, we got a special episode, man. We got people with me today, but first, man, we got my co-host with me. Say what's up to the people.
What's going on, guys? Nick Mal. As always, if you are interested in survival horror shooters right now, I'm currently playing The Thing over on my stream. It's actually the remaster of the original game of the same name movie. So survival horror, fighting aliens that can clone themselves after people. By the way, check out the movie, really good. Nick Mal streaming, Nick Mal on YouTube. See you over there.
All right. Mike.
Oh, me?
Ladies and gents, this is Mike, aka Dry Lifestyle Fitness. Join me on my Instagram, Dry Lifestyle Fitness, where I go over inspirational quotes, fitness, whatever you need for your lifestyle goals, whether it's packing those six-pack abs. I know it's the winter time, but of course, staying immune, getting throughout this cold flu sickness that's going around Georgia, anywhere, any remedies that you might need for soups and recipes, I got that for you. Again, just message me or follow my page, Dry Lifestyle Fitness.
All right, and our guest.
Oh, I'm Sovereign. No social media. Maker of knives and swords. Just a new guy around the block. That's it.
All right. You say you make swords and knives. Tell us about that real quick.
Difficult process, crazy process. A lot of metal involved, but it was fun. It's calming.
Oh,
it's hot as hell.
How do you get into making swords? Like, how did you get into that? When I first started that, I always liked swords and knives since I was a kid. I always enjoyed like warrior stuff. Like I was playing like Dynasty Warriors as a kid. Watched like movies, warriors like Troy, like Chinese warriors too, Greek warriors, Aztec warriors. I always enjoyed having knowledge of that, So that made me like, hey, they got all these cool weapons. I thought I might make them, Okay.
So that's what inspired me.
Okay. All right. Shoot. That's what's up. All right. So we know who to go to when it comes to zombie apocalypse, everybody.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Now, so you already know Savage News and our guests and everything. We're going to go and do our DC Anime Marvel game updates. All right. Now, we're going to pop that off. Anybody that generally wants to start, you can generally start. You already know I got the heat for you. But Nick, look like you're ready to go with some news right now. So I'm going to let Nick hit it off first. Tell us something going on. What's going on right now?
So right now, despite the lawsuits, Palworld is actually still running strong nonetheless. They're trying to mitigate around the lawsuits to kind of beat Nintendo at their own game. So essentially what they've done is like one of their lawsuits is that you throw your Pokeball out there and the Pokemon shows up where the hell it shows up. They did away with that. Now you literally just kind of like flick your wrist and guy drops right next to you. So they're doing little things like that. So they're trying to work around Nintendo's lawsuits already. So it's looking good so far. So here's hoping. As discussed previously, Marvel Rivals has released. It's actually really fucking good. Mm-hmm. It's literally Marvel It's Marvel Overwatch, but it's better. Though Jeff is kind of an asshole, I'm not gonna lie. that fucking move where he goes underground and grabs everybody, that's annoying as hell. I'm playing Punisher. Mm-hmm. Today, Amazon released their new series, Secret Level. So if you're into video games, it's literally each episode is a different video game. So they did Dungeons and Dragons, Warhammer 40K, Pac-Man. They did a few others I can't remember offhand, but I know they're gonna be doing Mega Man at some point too.
Oh snap! Holy shit!
But each episode's a different thing. Something I came across recently, so GameStop, I didn't realize this, they've gone back to reselling old retro games. I'm talking like NES, GameCube, shit like that. What's wild is some of the prices are a little off the chart that I've noticed. Like Hunting Ground, for example, an old PS2 game that's actually off of Resident Evil. Think Resident Evil without guns, essentially. Okay. Really fucking dark, by the way. I think they sell it for like 130, 140, but if you're selling it to them, they're only gonna give you about like $50, $40 maybe. So they have a massive markup. And you're lucky, that's in store credit too, not even cash. Uh-huh. So yeah, that's a little Yeah, then again, GameStop. What else is new? Death Stranding 2 is apparently being tested already, and so far, preliminary tests are not looking too hot from what I've been reading. Apparently, someone was testing the game and fell asleep and ended up driving their truck off a cliff. So, yeah, the game's putting players to sleep.
Oh boy.
So, I'm knowing Kojima though, I'm sure he'll turn that around. Other than that, Suicide Squad, it looks like their servers are finally going to be shutting down after having lost $200 million. That game was a massive failure. So we're not going to see any future DLC at this point. Apparently they're also they're working on an offline mode, which is why people are believing that they're going to just knock this off. On top of that too, Rocksteady went under after this.
For real?
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yes, they are in debt. They are in debt for $100 million.
There you go.
Because of that game.
Yeah. Lastly, Terminator Dark Fate Defiance is releasing a DLC finally. If you're into top-down RTS and you love Terminator, this was an okay game in my opinion. It takes place after the events of, or kind of during the events of the Dark Fate movie, which if you've ever seen the Terminator movies, Dark Fate was one we just don't talk about. It never happened.
I was about to say, what happened to Dark Fate again?
Yeah, we don't talk about it. No, okay. John Connor got blasted like the first 30 seconds of the movie. It was a what if kind of thing. John Connor gets killed like right in the beginning, and then some chick ends up taking over. It was a shitty movie. Oh, the Terminator that kills him ends up falling in love with a chick. Literally, Sarah Connor asks him like, "Wait, how did she never figure out that you don't have a penis?" And she's like, "Well, she's emotionally broken and I have no interest." Like, okay. Oh, and he's a florist. Remember, the killing machine is a florist. He works with flowers. Okay. But I digress. But anyway, the game actually isn't that bad. In terms of like story, it's okay. It's kind of forgettable, but the gameplay was actually really good. The new DLC is We Are Legion. So you get to play as Skynet. So you're playing as Skynet during their initial days of the war. So it's an interesting DLC.
Somebody needs to coin that phrase, because I thought you was talking about Professor X's son for a minute when you said Legion. I was just like, my boy popping out? Nah, never mind.
But no, that's about it for the gaming news as of now.
All right. Check this out. I got some cup of news right there for you guys. So apparently, a second season of Agatha All Along is reportedly in development. All right. So it's doing very well, as well as the actors. I think his leaves, two of them so far, Catherine Hahn and I forgot what the other actor's name is, but she was the one who was experienced time sickness or whatever, or time jumps. Basically, they won nominations, or I think they might have won awards actually at the Golden Globes. So I don't want to be... No, it's at the Critics' Choice Award. I'm glad I said that. I'm glad I actually just corrected myself, so I can definitely go back and edit that. Yeah. So her name is Patti LuPone. All right. So yeah, she basically has a nomination, and Catherine Hahn did as well too. And like I said, I know you guys didn't really watch Agatha Along. I think me and Mike are really the only two that watched it on the stream right now. Basically, that show did really well, and a lot of people are still saying now that that is the best Marvel show that they have done so far.
God damn.
Yes. So it actually, not only was it a dark horse, but it was a sleeper, and now people are, now saying we want more of it. So, maybe you guys probably can, sit there, watch it real quick. It might be like Game of Thrones first season for you. For me, that's how it was a little bit until I got through the first period. But then it was like, it became really good for me.
Okay, first season may be good, but you never know. Writings could suck in the second season, so it's fair. A 50-50 on it.
1,000%. 1,000%, but that remains to be seen. What they have done right now is, definite, and that's out there. So right now it is held as the sleeper that actually surpassed Loki, in terms of storytelling, and even cinematography.
I mean, people said the Penguin was decent too, and it was just a regular guy with just a gun and a freaking long coat, and it was a good TV show.
Most definitely. So, I mean, you got to understand, like, one thing about it is shows sometimes don't have to be super complex to be good. You know, shoot, that's why people like Batman. You don't really have too much going on except like, you know, kung fu and the gadgets and, you know, visual effects, a tiny visual effects, but it's like that's still all we really need, you know, for it, instead of having to do Superman and, you know, it's an effect every single time he's doing something, you know. So, you know, but neither here or there for that. You know, we'll talk about that a little later. Some more news and stuff. The Sonic 3 director recalls how Jim Carrey returned after his retirement comments, all right? He said that we printed the script out in 24 karat ink and delivered it to his doorstep, all right?
So I actually heard that Jim Carrey reported that, like, so he, like you said, announced that he was done. He's done with acting. Apparently came back and was like, yeah, I spent a little bit too much money. Now I need it.
But he's a comedian, bro.
That's what I heard too.
They all say that. I'm never going to return to the acting, but when that money gets low, they come back. I mean, look at Hugh Jackman. Look at Hugh Jackman. This is my last time put on the claws. He came back and put it on again because that Deadpool Wolverine movie made millions.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was the best decision he ever made right there. Like, hey man, come back to the claws.
Ryan Reynolds had to cry for him to come back. He probably pleaded to that man.
Shoot. Some other news. Shaggy has been spotted in the DC universe in Creature Commandos. Now, we're talking about the Shaggy from the Mystery Gang. Yes, Shaggy was spotted smoking weed in Creature Commandos.
God damn.
Yes.
He's bait.
They put Shaggy in there?
Uh-huh.
Why are they doing that man like that?
So, what this now says, because we already got the movie of Batman meets, you know, Scooby-Doo in the Mystery Gang. Now that actually means that they're connected. And remember, we talked about it again. There's now hidden more. It's like more and more is happening. WB. It's already part of the same company. Why not?
They're putting them together.
Mm-hmm. Well, not all.
Yeah.
Not all, but, you know, like just certain
works.
things.
Yes.
Yeah, you know. They may need Batman for this one.
They're going to have to play a little tact.
You know, but it's at least, well, and then looking at it, how the multiverses game actually goes out, then now it's a little more believable, you know. And then, you know, it's funny that he's caught smoking weed, because when you see Shaggy from a young age, you don't understand what's going on with this guy. Why are you so hungry? Zoinks. Well, you know, we don't understand what's going on specifically. We did not know that he was a smoker. We didn't know he was high all the time. That's why he was, you know, like, they just eating food. So, like, we didn't really understand that. And they probably tried to go out of their way to, like, erase the red in his eyes so that he didn't overly appear like he was high, because, you know, that would have been bad for kids.
Shaggy was stoned off his ass 24/7. That man was living in his own mental level.
He probably had edibles or something. Like, bro probably like...
He definitely did.
Bro, he probably got Scooby. What if Scooby isn't real and he's just so high?
I've heard that one before, that he's just a figment of their imagination. Not figment of their imagination, but they're hallucinating because of whatever the fuck they're on.
Well,
You guys heard that theory?
Yeah.
You guys heard that theory? That Scooby is a omnipotent god, and he keeps recreating them. You know how many TV shows they made of Scooby-Doo? So Scooby keeps recreating them and try to make the perfect world, and then Velma figures it out, and then he kills them all over again and restarts the loop.
That's dark. That's dark.
Yeah, I never heard that.
Yeah, no, I can't really see that. I mean, granted, we know he's a fucking alien, apparently.
But you know what, though? They have similar...
He's a talking dog.
They have similar sort of theories about a lot of the shows, you know, like I think I mentioned it one time, how on Fairly OddParents, if you look at the girl that he had a crush on, Trixie, she had a best friend. Her best friend is a former fairy, but you don't know that because they don't ever tell you. But if you look at her, she has full, like, dilated, you know, circle eyes, and the only people that technically have those eyes like that are the fairies. She has eyes like that, and she's mad at Timmy all the time because Trixie technically likes she technically likes Timmy a little bit, but she wanted his attention. You get what I'm saying? He gives it all the way to Trixie all the time. So that's kind of like something they never showed in the show, but you're able to see it if you kind of go back and look at it or something like that. They didn't imply this, but technically this is what's going on here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back at who Trixie's friend was. Like, I remember watching that show as a kid. I had a mental block. Unless it was like a newer episode. I haven't watched that show in years.
Hold up. Fair. Here we go.
I was about to say it's gonna show you. Yeah, no, I know who Trixie is, but I'm saying who was her friend?
No, watch this.
Yeah, but they said Timmy's a 50-year-old man. He's supposed to be 50 at that time. And the whole episode, he's 50 years old.
Is he just senile? Oh, now I remember that bitch.
You see the star right there?
Oh.
The star is her hairband. So if you guys look up on your phone right now, look up Veronica from Fairly OddParents. You can look at her. Look at how she looks. She has a star in her hair. Her eyes are actually eyes, right? But if you look at Trixie, and I thought that's maybe because Trixie was maybe Chinese or Japanese or something when I was young. I'm not gonna lie.
Wasn't she Asian or something?
That may be a good cover story for it or something, right? But check this out.
Also, doesn't Timmy have the same kind of eyes as the rest of them?
But I was just finna say, no, look, but check this out. Look. Regular, non-dotted eyes, right?
Okay.
Now watch this. Look at Timmy. Regular, non-dotted eyes, right? Wait a minute. Let's look at Timmy's parents. Regular, non-dotted eyes. The fact is, the Fairly OddParents themselves, Cosmo and Wanda, have
I see where you're going
iris
with
eyes. Exactly.
Huh.
So that means Trixie used to be a kid who wasn't popular or probably really didn't look that good. Probably wished herself to look that way, and then most likely wished herself to have a best friend, being that.
Or the best friend is the fairy.
Is the fairy, yes.
And then it's her cover, because remember, they always have some kind of cover.
Or probably don't remember it no more.
Nah, but I don't think they would stick around. No, honestly, I think it might be that she still remembers. It's just a cover. That sounds more...
That's crazy.
Cosmo and Wanda always had some kind of cover. His dogs or some stupid shit.
That was pretty crazy though. Like that's like a something. You got to be a fan really to know that type of stuff. But that's even like that because one day I want to kind of get to the bottom of what happened. That really what happened at the bottom of Danny Phantom. You know, like really what happened. Because remember they said that Danny's like a villain after that. What really happened?
Well, that was
in that one movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't that more of a what if? Like he kind of just goes dark side, but it's not like he has to. Like he even acknowledges that.
Is that actually?
I think it was like a future. It was a future.
Is that a future or the future?
I think it was their future. I think it was actually their future. But it was in a movie. I forgot which movie that was.
He's probably in the same situation, you know, where it's like really like crazy specifically, but we're just fed the like little minuscule parts where we just enjoy the kid parts of it or like the children's story of it, you know, like it might be real crazy after that, you know, and that's where you can actually make a real show from it.
I mean, to be fair, if you got stuck in some kind of atomizing machine that turned you into half a ghost and half a human, I think it'd drive you pretty fucking crazy too.
No, for real, and that's where the realism comes into play right there. We need the realism back, you know. Oh, check this out. More information for you guys. DC Comics will now be sold at Dollar Tree stores across the country for just $1.25 each.
Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, technically.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, it's cool, but then it's like, when you think about it, like, wait, so if you can sell your comics at like $1
I'm about to go look up the nearest dollar to.
Yeah, it's like, if you're selling your comics at like $1 and change, does that say something about the quality of the comics now, or that you don't expect it? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like supply and demand. If you're willing to sell it at such a low price, what does it tell you about the business? I don't know. That's just me maybe overlooking things. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I get what you mean right there, but
it's telling me jackpot in the long run, because you buy them comics nice and clear, you wrap them up, and in a couple of years, it's gonna be worth something.
You don't know that, because the problem is a lot of mass production.
True. Remember, a lot of people don't take care of their things, even though there's mass production.
Well, look at it this way, guys. I think we're missing the bigger point. The bigger point is that it's so accessible now. You don't have to go to a library just to get it. You don't have to be classified a nerd to go into the little areas just to go buy a comic. You can now just go to your, your Dollar Tree, get you some snacks, and get you a nice, clean comic to read up out of there. And what that'll do now is give you potentially a new character that you like, a story that you're going to remember. And remember, a lot of the problems right now is that people didn't know characters. So thank you to Marvel for dropping Rivals, because that actually gives people more knowledge about the characters. You get what I'm saying? So people that didn't know Jeff can now just go look at his lore now. Like, what? Everybody who I asked, there's a shark in Marvel? Yeah, there's a shark in Marvel. You can technically see there's a lot of technical sharks in Marvel, but there's a shark in Marvel and DC, and look at the different characters. They didn't know about Luna. I didn't know about Luna. So finding out her history and stuff is actually pretty dope, So, like, we need the ability to know who these guys are, and we are never able to get it if we just know about the regular squad all the time. Like, that's like on NBA, or if you only know about the greats, who's the guys after them? So, but that's what's going on right there. Now, this is actually some information, but former Rockstar developer Mike York said the studio is enjoying watching fans cook up wild conspiracy theories about them about when the next GTA 6 will drop. It's kind of interesting. They got time to just sit there and just make fun. It's like, dude, drop the game. Like, what are y'all waiting on?
Yeah, the problem is this game has seen like multiple generations. The GTA 5 has seen multiple generations at this point. It's been around since the fucking 360. It needs to die already. And apparently, in my opinion, as someone who's been following the gaming scene, keeping track of GTA, I'm not hearing good things so far. There's already implications that they might be going more the politically correct route. So the things that we once loved about GTA might not be there anymore.
We don't know. We're going to just see, guys. Also, more news. Marvel is reportedly fast-tracking Midnight Suns and actively searching for a director. So, I don't know if you guys know, the Midnight Suns team consists of Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, Blade. Well, I don't know her name. I just call her Nico.
Basically all of the Marvel is just a mobile game in the console. That's what it is.
Basically the Marvel heroes that deal with the supernatural. All right. So this is around them. So yes, you know why? Because recently, and you're not really able to know this unless you really tapped into that world, but y'all don't really realize it, but Scarlet Witch has really just boomed in popularity. With Agatha all along technically being, having her son on there and, and it being about her, she didn't technically have to be on the show, but it's still rising her character value. Because now everybody's like, where's Wanda? We want to see Wanda. Then, and this is actually going to be pretty interesting because I want to see what you guys are going to say about it for later and stuff. Because Mike is a super Wanda lover. He loves Wanda. Ain't it right, my boy?
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
But we're going to see if Mike justifies everything she did later on. Okay? We're going to see if he's, because it's pretty interesting. And trust me, I'm hurling it right at him. But other than that, some more information. If it was anime news, technically, Frankie's voice actor, Kazuki Yao, has officially retired from the role after his recent medical leave, all right? What all they really basically said was that he's going to sit out for a while, but he did technically find a really good person that's going to be, his replacement and is actively involved in that process, But just in case you guys notice a little difference about, the voice, that's what's going on there, all right? Other than that, the Code Geass franchise is expanding with multiple new projects in production. So I don't know if you got... Oh,
I've seen Code Geass.
Okay. Okay, yes, sir. So that definitely is going to expand more. My boy Lee Louch is about to do his thing, and it's going to expand a little more so that we're not gonna get rid of that command seal anytime soon, guys. All right. Now, what's next is Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be reset for the series. The thing about it is, I have no type of opinion about it. Let me tell you why. I don't know what's going on in the Kingdom Hearts world, and technically, I wasn't a part of it when I was growing up. Not necessarily that I didn't want to, I just didn't have the ability to, so that wasn't my thing to be a part of.
So I kind of got a rundown of the Kingdom Hearts lore. A little bit more, in my opinion, a little more convoluted than Metal Gear.
Well, I'm gonna ask you about that one later then.
I don't remember the exact details. I just remember it being fucking convoluted. It was that back and forth of, hey, this guy's evil. Wait, no, never mind anymore. That kind of shit. Oh, he did this? No, never mind.
Kingdom Hearts may be the first example of the multiverse.
Yeah, maybe, I guess. I'm not sure if there's anything.
Think about it.
No, if we're talking...
Kind of, when you think about it.
If we're talking crossing different properties, like... From
property, yes, property crossing.
Yeah, if we're talking that, maybe.
I mean, are you talking about like just in general, like no fighting games, no...
I mean... like property wise, like we were talking about, like, so for example, how on Kingdom Hearts you have Disney characters specifically, right?
Well, no, they're not really property jumping because they're all under Disney.
Right, that's what I was saying. So it's still different titles though. So you got Mickey and the crew, right? And now who else who they team with sometimes? Who did you see on Kingdom Hearts before? I think I've seen because Kingdom Hearts is that game where you literally have the out of place Disney characters with characters that are like regular drawn, and it's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but in a different way. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
I don't know if I would necessarily, like I said, I don't know if I would necessarily call that a multiverse, because essentially too is they directly acknowledge the existence of these other universes, whereas in some other properties, like say Marvel or even Sonic, because that does come up.
Yeah, like Marvel and Capcom.
Yeah,
like,
it's more
like
it's more like they just pop up, you know, and be like, oh shit, hey, look who that guy is. In this case, these guys are like, oh yeah, we're just gonna go down to Disney, you know, down to Mickey's Kingdom, down the street.
Can they technically go into all of the Disney worlds?
Yes.
That's my point then. So they basically did the same thing as a Space Jam thing. It's basically like a Space Jam thing, bro.
Like,
it's a WB thing.
Another great example. Great example would be DC versus Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
facts. Yeah. Exactly.
Or Marvel versus Capcom, which that was great.
But who is Capcom owned by? Capcom?
Capcom's owned by Capcom is Capcom.
All right, well, I just want to see if they had a parent, company or some guys.
What you're thinking of, they own Resident Evil, Mega Man, Dead Rising, too many. Devil May Cry.
They own way too much, basically. Yeah. It's like, well, not way too much. I mean, hey, man, if you guys want to hire me one day, you know what I'm saying? Not enough. But anyways, now, Lindsay Lohan may have joined the MCU guys on an unknown project.
What?
Lindsay Lohan.
Is she gonna have a mood scene? Because I'll watch it.
I don't know why I don't know. We're gonna see her. I don't know. That's for us '90s kids. We remember Lindsay Lohan. Before.
That's why I'm like, that's a name I haven't heard.
The only thing I remember her is from The Parent Trap. That's the only thing I remember her from. That's it. She the rest of her career was just meh. That was it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a name I don't think I've heard in a long time outside of a joke.
Oh boy, see, I came with the energy today. Yeah, okay. I haven't heard it be recently good or anything, but that doesn't really mean that it's like, she's probably doing really good right now. She's probably still definitely have her acting ability. I hope so.
Oh yeah, she cleaned up. Yeah, but she gotta make that comeback though.
Same thing for my boy. What happened to what's his Shia LaBeouf? Yeah, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cleaned up. He got back to
for a while.
Bro. Sometimes they hit rock bottom, but that don't mean they can't do their thing still.
If you can come back like Shia LaBeouf, then you have to come back. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Also, apparently, the drink from the 2008 Incredible Hulk movie appears in the new promo for the Captain America Brave New World.
So you think they're going to be selling a new drink sometime soon to promote the movie?
No, what this is saying is, do you guys remember that scene from Incredible Hulk?
The college scene?
No,
They playing that one.
No, the scene that was in the movie when Stan Lee was drinking the drink.
Oh yeah.
Remember? Yeah. So remember, he bled into the factory and he had to stop the production line. He was working in the drink factory at that time. It was in Brazil or something. Mm-hmm.
It was.
Yeah, I remember that. And it went down and stopped it, so blood won't affect the drink.
Yeah, so apparently this drink is in the new promo for Captain America. What does it have to do with Bruce? Maybe they might have found out that there's another drink somewhere with Bruce's blood still in it. Maybe.
Is there another Hulk that we haven't seen?
There's plenty of Hulks we ain't seen technically on the main thing, you know. But I mean, in this new one we see Red Hulk, so that may have been you know, that may be the thing that may have turned him. Who knows? Because Stan Lee died from it. Well, not like real life, but like, you know, in the movie of it, his person died from it. But we don't know what it's gonna do. But we know the leader's a part of it, so who knows? Maybe he found the bottle himself and re-engineered it. We don't know, but we're gonna see. You know. Also,
I watch Captain America. I love Red Hulk and everything. As long as I don't see She-Hulk in that movie, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh man.
Also, wrapping it up, the Sony Spider-Man universe is officially canceled or dead. Kind of whatever you want to say about it. With the releases of the next upcoming movies of it, Sony is abandoning all hands on their exploitation of the Spider-Verse in a way. I know I just use exploitation, but I'm just saying, like, they're literally trying to make movies about his entire universe instead of just Spider-Man movies. So now they're technically doing that now. They're actually about to be working on the next Spider-Man movies with Marvel, all right? And they're throwing all hands into doing that instead of actually doing the next Craven movies or the next Spider-Man 2 or someone, whatever, you know. Whatever they was going to do just to try to milk money out of his universe, they're stopping that right now.
So they're focusing more on Spider-Man he himself than the extended nonsense.
Yes. And that's the best part about it. Also, some more information. James Gunn has reportedly canceled some DC projects, and people are saying that it is the Black Superman movie and the Constantine sequel.
Well, I never could. You're going to make a continuation of a DC film.
I expected him to do all the Superman like that. He really did the Superman Lois. That's the reason it ended, because of him. That was a good TV show.
But they announced it was a final season. At least it went out a real good, series.
But they were supposed to do 7 seasons, but since he said he didn't want to confuse Superman with that new Superman that was coming out.
That's true.
So they had to shut his down so his Superman could thrive.
You know what I think they need to do? They need to bring my boy Derek over to Marvel now. Yeah.
That's what?
What do you mean that's what? He could do a lot of different things, bro. Like you play Superman now, bro. The door is open for you to do a lot of different things now.
I mean, it did wonders for Henry Cavill.
Even though that was a bigger stage, but yeah, either way, still.
Yeah. Henry Cavill, it did wonders for him a year, but he was clashing with writers. He was doing good at The Witcher. Look what happened. They replaced him real quick with one of the.
Well, Witcher kind of fell off.
It just kind of lost his kind of belief and influence. They knew that he was going to be replaced.
Yeah, the story. He's right. The story. This fell off story-wise. It fell off. The action was beautiful. The fighting. I love the choreography and the fighting, but story-wise, it did fell off though. He's right. It fell off in some type of way.
So, like, I remember watching through the first season of The Witcher, and it was pretty good, but then I found out the second season they were driving away from, Geralt himself, when The Witcher is all about he himself, The Witcher. And from what I know, The Witcher, the second season just kind of drifted away from that, and that's ultimately kind of killed the show. And I think even Henry Cavill, that's one reason why Cavill was probably arguing with them, because it's The Witcher, but you're doing it about everybody else other than The Witcher.
Yeah, that's why they ended it, because Henry Cavill is a gamer and a fan. He reads the books, so that's what he expects. They already had a lot of source material. They just wanted to write their own story. You know what I'm saying? The writers wanted their own things, focus on their own character instead of Geralt and Ciri.
Exactly. That's why I got respect for Henry Cavill. He knows. Sticks to the source material.
Yeah, he knows.
Now, do you guys have any more DC, anime, or Marvel news you guys want to do, Sovereign or Mike?
DC?
Well, I know for Marvel, they had just announced Chris Evans is coming back, but we don't know what character.
Right.
That money ran low. That's what happened.
I'm curious to know what character it is, though.
I honestly wouldn't mind them doing the like a movie for like the What If, when Captain America was secretly a Hydra agent.
Oh, Captain Hydra, yeah, they could do that. I think so.
They might be about to do that.
The only thing is that I remember talking about this with a coworker, and I don't know if Chris Evans would actually go for it. There's actually, if I remember correctly, can't remember who it is. I want to say it's Black Widow, but there's a scene when she figures out that Cap is actually a Hydra agent, and not only does he beat her down, he actually cuts her in half with his shield. Like, he's sitting there just wailing on her. And the Hydra soldiers are like, Cap, you good? Like, okay, she's dead. You can stop now. So I don't know if Evans will do that.
Is that a comic or a TV?
Comic.
Oh, I gotta read that then.
If I remember correctly, the whole plot was Cap was secretly a Hydra agent that managed to get the super soldier serum, and come the modern day, that's when he kind of went from being a sleeper agent to active. And one of the heroes he actually flipped apparently was the Punisher. He got the Punisher to join him, if I remember correctly.
Oh, Captain the Punisher have been going at it for ages. Because Punisher kills and Cap be like, oh, they must face due process and all that, But buddy, you hitting people in the head with a metal shield, that's gonna cause brain trauma. They can't get processed a day in the hospital. So like, it's just perfect.
They don't just. Anyways, guys, let's get into this. Let's get into this damn verses real quick, guys. Let's talk about it. And I'm definitely about to aim it real quick at Mike. Reason why is because I remember the Scarlet Witch thing, and I want to open it up with the Scarlet Witch thing. But we're gonna let Nick go after that, all right? And then Xavier after that, and then Mike, you're last on it, okay? But as you know, with this, guys, feel free to comment on your inputs as well with it, okay? Now let's talk about it real quick. So everybody, let's talk about Wanda for a second, all right? A couple things came across my timeline, and I got to thinking about it. First of all, what do y'all think about Wanda, the Scarlet Witch?
Most sexiest redhead on earth. That's what I think.
Okay.
Sexy and complicated.
Okay.
Complicated.
What do you think of the pain she's gone through?
She's going through pain only because she's broke the laws of course, nature of how her powers work. And she's trying to get that back, but what she's trying to get back isn't necessarily normal nor falls within the laws of course, nature.
You don't think she's crazy?
With her,
I mean, if you lose your brother, your entire family, and the love of your life, you would go crazy too.
So, whoa, wait. So is that a justification for doing a whole town, like holding them hostage basically and making them do everything you want them to do?
Yeah, villains are born, they're created.
All right, so if you say basically that,
I think at first, she didn't subconsciously knew, but when she knew, she kind of ran with it. And maybe if I keep this control, maybe it won't be so bad. But what she doesn't know is that other people are conscious that they're being controlled and they kind of want this charade to stop.
So,
And she didn't really notice that until it got farther down the episodes in the series.
Yeah, Plus, did she know, or she did this when she controlled it? Did she did it by accident? And then when she realized she's controlling it, did she took over like that? Like she said, "Fuck it." Yeah, like fuck it, I'm gonna just run with it.
So here's my point here. Here's what we're about to say to that. All right. So you guys basically said, but you don't really understand. She basically became a villain because she lost everything. She lost the love of her life. She lost her boyfriend, husband, her kids, or whatever, her home or whatever. She's, She basically went through a lot. She's able to exercise that now because of everything that happened to her, correct?
Yes.
Then what do you say of Spider-Man? What do you say of Thor? What do you say of Wolverine? What do you say?
I say Spider-Man and I say they are resilience. Okay?
What do you say of Rocky Raccoon?
So here's my thing. Here's my thing with this, right? I see this kind of maybe her motivation is kind of like a Dr. Doom situation, where it's more of, all right, I lost literally everything. If I'm the one in control and I take over everything, then nobody's dying. I'm gonna make sure this is all set up. So it's kind of like the way to hell is paved with good intentions.
I don't think that's the case. Like that hasn't been the case. We didn't see her acting that way when the Darkhold had her, in the last movie, like it was like, well, let's break one egg to do, like, save a couple omelets. Like, nothing like that. Like, it was more like, well, if she gotta die, well, if she dies, she dies, right? That's more kind of what we've seen from her. And my point is this: if you're saying that's a justification for her becoming a villain, then we should have had a villain Wolverine, we should have had a villain Spider-Man, we should have had a villain Rocky Raccoon, and a villain Thor, yes, because those dudes lost worlds.
We probably do. We probably do. In the multiverse, there probably
but
is.
It's not necessarily a justification for what she's doing, basically. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, because of that, bro, nobody remembers Spider-Man anymore. Everybody has, your uncles, well, we're talking about Tom's here, technically. Well, let's talk about Tom specifically. Bro, your uncle ain't there. We don't even know what happened to him. Bro's like written out of the story. Then your aunt dies in front of you. Then your girl is not your girl no more because of a spell that you did, and your best friend is no longer your spell no more either. Then on top of that, Tony died, and he was like a father figure to you. Then on top of that, you lost genuinely everything around that you've built to yourself. Does that not like set you on that course? Or let's just intersect into Thor a little bit. Your brother died, who you loved, even though he was your adoptive brother, you loved him more than he knew. Your dad died. Your brother accidentally killed your mother by accident, by in some type of way, but still by accident. So your mother's gone. Your girl that you found died of cancer. Your home world is destroyed. Asgard is destroyed. Had to relocate to Earth.
Well, actually, something I'm thinking, like, especially when it comes down to Thor, like, there was some kind of catharsis for all these guys. Like, Thor, remember, because Thor lost everything. Well, part of what he lost was because of Thanos. But they took his ass out.
But it's even if, regardless of who, is because these are things that happened to you, and it's affecting you. And this is the reason why when in that movie they found Thor in such a state, because he's depressed.
Right, no, I'm tracking. But what I'm saying is, like, he had that way of getting his revenge. He had that opportunity to kind of let that out. He had that way of healing, essentially. Like, hey, all of his problems were because of Thanos. He took that guy out. That's it.
It didn't help.
Well, I mean, true. He did fall into that hole. But granted, he did bounce back.
He bounced back, but that's still something that, remember, you got to understand. He bounced back about that. He still doesn't have his brother, doesn't have his dad, don't got your girl. The events of Thor 3, does that happen after Thor? I mean, after Thanos? Or
I think it's after.
Bro, if that happens after Thanos, now you have a daughter now. But guess what? You just lost your girl.
Yeah, and well, supposedly they're gonna get a reunion, of him and Loki, but that's further down the line. But besides that, I mean, yes, he did lose everything, but he's slowly gaining something back, supposedly.
Exactly.
Slowly
Can I say
gaining.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wanda, you can't really blame her because one, she lost her parents at a very young age. Then she was taken as a slave and, hostage basically all her life with her brother, and then released to become trained to become like a very powerful nuclear weapon, which she is. And then all her life she's met tragedy. Thor had both his parents live 1,500 years. He can handle that. She can handle that loss.
Okay.
And and Spider-Man, he knew both his parents. He had a loving aunt who took care of him and everything. Which Spider-Man we talking about? Tom or Toby or Andrew?
I guess Spider-Man in general.
I mean, they all had the kind of the same background. Some of them.
Well, not Tom, because Tom Hahn is different. Tom said she took the Ben role. So, that's a different story. So like say, Spider-Man knew both his parents, even though they abandoned him, every kid can get over the years. And he had a loving aunt and a loving uncle too. Okay, that he had, parental guidance, all that. Him and Thor had parental guidance, everything. Wanda, from the beginning, even though her father's Magneto, he wasn't there, in the MCU, both her parents died. So it's a big difference between all, If you look at those,
it's different.
There's no justification still because she's a grown ass woman. Here's the thing: Deadpool went through a lot of that shit too. Deadpool was made to be a mercenary for people. He was tortured. He was experimented on. Same thing for Wolverine. And definitely they all have bodies to their names, but at the same time, they don't claim.
But to be fair, Deadpool and Wolverine, they weren't long-term experimented on over the course their life. Wanda was basically tortured and used as a fucking ragdoll. These guys, it was more of over the short period, a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, if that. So and on top of that too, kind of going into what Sovereign said, the thing is, Wanda didn't have the same kind of foundation these other guys had. They had something to build off of. They knew what they lost. They knew what they wanted, whereas she didn't really have anything. So for her, and while it's not good what she's doing, it's understandable why. She basically got fucked over by society, so now it's all right, well, fuck all of you.
Yeah. Wolverine, he lived for 200 years. He lived for 200 years. He could handle that. Deadpool, he I don't know what kind of life he had, but that experiment did make him insane. He broke the fourth wall. That's how insane he is.
To be fair, also, Deadpool was a mercenary for the longest time. He only went through those experiments because he thought they were going to cure his cancer that was slowly killing him.
Yeah, see, so that made him insane, though. So
he was always a little nutty.
Them to Wanda.
I'm trying to think of other people specifically, but there are other characters that went through the same thing as Wanda, but not necessarily that I can think of right now.
I think the Punisher is the second one because in one comics, Mephisto was looking at Punisher, and he saw him, and he told somebody that Frank Castle has the saddest life he's ever seen. He actually felt bad for Frank Castle because he saw Frank Castle eating food and drinking water while the dead bodies of his friends are on the ground. He said that was the saddest thing he ever saw in his entire existence.
So let's look at it right there. All right, let's use the person you just said, Frank Castle. Frank Castle may be an anti-hero, again, a person with bodies and to him and everything. And these are very complex characters and stuff. But they've never taken a stand, or they never took a stance of complete evil. You get what I'm saying? Or they've never taken destructive, kill everybody sort of thing. There's a difference if you're I'm mad at a specific person in an institution, I'm finna do that. It's different if you say everybody gotta go, everybody gotta die. That's crazy levels of crazy. You get what I'm saying? You're on that Frieza stuff. I'm mad. Let me destroy the world. What we playing on, bro? Don't be mad because you lost the fight, bro. Lose the fight in grace. Don't be now you know what? Screw it. That's what she's doing in a way. It's every time she gets mad, it's she overreacts and she does a grand display of doing some fuckery to everybody.
I mean, that's what women do. That's what women do right now. Women are emotional. She's very emotional. What you talking about?
Yeah,
that's what women do these days. You say one thing, they're gonna throw what? You say, "Oh, we splitting up." They're gonna start throwing wine at you, everything, food.
I'm just gonna say, add into what he is. Yo, Vision is probably the luckiest guy in the world. He's gone. You think about it this way. Can you imagine her time of the month living with her? Oh dear God. She's got superpowers.
Oh, no,
She's lifting the house and shit, chucking that shit at you.
Yep. Imagine she on her period. He's gonna have to get her a lot of food. That's gonna be crazy.
She can conjure that shit. She can conjure some damn things to go get for her and stuff, especially now. But I just wanted to ask that question, specifically to see what you guys think about it and stuff. Sovereign, I'm not Sovereign. Nick. Oh wait, say what you say, Mike?
No, I was just saying, like, comparing, like, all the characters, yeah, they had some major grievances, like, I don't know who's just gonna say, like, overreacted. She created a whole new boxing universe. Same thing what Billy did.
He emotional too, though. Shoot, he his mama's son. What Catherine said that on the show. You your mother's child, boy. That was she. Straight up. Yes, he is.
Overreacted. Now, what they did with that was their choice. Except for Billy, he overreacted and he went along with it. Same thing, Wanda. They went along with it, but they just got both effects of what happened, of what they did.
Well, actually, you know what?
Bird was the benefit of her, but Billy, it kind of benefited the group almost, really.
I mean, like I said, that's going into neither hair territory. That's still his mother's son. They're very emotional, and at the end of the day, that still goes into what we were saying. Like you it's extra basically. But let's get into it. Let's pop into it. We're gonna pop into it since you guys took long on that one. Nick, start us off on it.
All right, I think I got a good one. Being that this is more of the DC question. Being that Suicide Squad has failed as a game, do you think that the failure was partially because of the fact that there's a Suicide Squad taking place in the after the events of the Arkham series, or do you think so essentially, do you think that it was a mistake for them to go towards Suicide Squad, or should they have stuck with Batman? Essentially, that's what I'm going for.
It's Suicide Squad. I just think
there were so many things wrong with it.
The creativeness, I thought what was done with it, I think was what was off. Just off in general, to be honest. Because everybody wants a villain game. Nobody wants to shy away from a villain game where you can do whatever the hell you want. But it's just how it's done is what's the biggest question and red flag of why this game was done the way it was.
What you were saying, Soph?
I was saying that there's a lot of things that happen with that game. A lot of things. Like there's many things. Like first, story-wise, the story makes no sense. Okay, Batman takes them all out in the museum, and then all of a sudden, they take him out on a bench. They kill him while he's on a bench. Come on now, that's Arkham Knight Batman.
It wasn't even just that. They gunned his ass down like a headshot, and then one of them took a shit on him, like straight up took a shit on him.
Yeah, and it had to be Harley. Harley out of all the people that killed him, Harley. When she couldn't even kill him in the Arkham City DLC, and she kills him right there. I don't believe that.
Not only that, they had this whole dramatic thing with her being like, you look down on us, but you're kind of the villains. His job is to kind of be the police of you, so surprise.
What I think is just like kind of a combination of what you guys were saying. It's pride, and it's sort of like ego as well too. It's kind of our ego. We don't want to see our character that we know performs a certain way in a game looking a certain way, basically.
See, I don't necessarily think it's entirely. I get where you're going with that.
Well, no. You think about it, you just said it. Well, everything technically that you guys just said was because your image of Batman and your knowledge of his skills and, of how he is normally would not go out like that. That's generally what you guys were saying, and it's like, that's your mind telling you that this is not Batman to me. You feel me? Yeah.
And it wasn't Batman. It was a clone of his.
And it wasn't even just that. Like the thing that I'm pointing out too is like, because like I said, Flat Out takes a shit on him. Like, it was the developers just bluntly being disrespectful to Batman and the universe that was built up. In a way, for gamers, that was more of a middle finger to us for enjoying the old games.
And I was going to say, that's why I think you guys took it as that, for sure.
And then for that, didn't that voice actor kind of pass like that? Like,
yeah, it's disrespecting to the original Batman, the one we grew up with. Mm-hmm. They basically disrespected him. He died. They gonna blow his head off on the bench. That's a middle finger to him and his legacy.
I agree. Well, that's 9 times out of 10. You're right. Shoot. All right, that was pretty good. That was pretty good one for her. Okay, I got a question for you guys, and it's funny that Nick, I think me and Nick already talked about it. Do you guys think that? And I'm pretty sure everybody knows how Naruto runs, right?
Not me. I don't know nothing about Naruto.
Did Sonic steal? I mean, did Naruto steal the running technique of Sonic, or was it?
Actually, that depends, because the original Sonic game. Well, no, because the original Sonic games, he actually had his arms like this. He didn't have them behind them. The OG. It was all. I want to say it was more towards the time of like the 3D games. That's when Sonic started doing his whole thing, with his arms behind his back. So whichever one came out first started doing it. That's a different story.
So do you think technically?
So it might have been the other way around, actually.
Physics behind why the run was like that anyway, because it's supposed to help you with endurance with your body, something like that going into,
Sonic has no type of explanation he can tell us about why he does that. That's a hedgehog. Then besides that, like, no.
That's a hedgehog.
That's a hedgehog, bro. Like,
I'm just explaining why. Where did it come from? Because it is
simple answer. Sonic just like waving his hands around when he runs. Feel the wind when you run. Shit, if I was running 3,000 miles an hour or whatever, Mach 5, I'll loosen up my hands just to feel that wind too.
Manga.
Oh, the manga, yeah, right.
So we're looking up right now which one came out first, Sonic or Naruto.
Still, yeah. So Sonic did it first. Because Naruto, as a manga, started in 1999.
You said it though. You said the OG Sonic came out like this. So when did he turn his
that's what I'm
arms
saying. No,
around?
but that's what I'm saying. The first was the 3D game, which was in 1998. Naruto started in 1999, so it was a year later.
So that's my point again. So my point is, when did Sonic turn his arms around? That's probably after the first game then.
That was during the first game. No.
Oh, that was during the first game.
No, I'm sorry. The OG first game, like the old side scroller, he had his arms bent. In the 3D games, that's when he had his arms behind his back. And the first 3D game was in 98. The first Naruto manga released in 99.
Yeah, 99, yeah.
So that means that Naruto kind of might have stolen that from Sonic.
I just thought you thought about the concept of who did it first. I was like, well, I mean, that was going prehistoric times, because there was a scientific explanation, because it gives you more stamina when your arms are behind your back and stuff like that. There was a study of doing that.
I mean, hey, we were trying to see, because technically, Sonic has stolen other stuff though, aka Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be the first time.
Sonic also did kind of steal the multiverse, and they also stole from the Terminator. They did straight up steal from Terminator. It's actually one comic.
Exactly, bro. Like, bro.
What did you see? I mean, well, besides the, Super
Sonic probably did stole shit from Marvel too. Look at the gems. He got to collect all colorful gems just to go Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
I just use those as examples of, Dragon Balls, but like, you're right. Those are more like Infinity Stones.
Yeah, that's really the rule of thumb with like becoming a superhero. Is like, hey, we need to collect the 753 MacGuffins that are a magical stone that came from some fucking place.
It's a quest.
I mean,
it's more fun that way.
If you think about it, Dragon Ball did almost the same thing. Becoming Super Saiyan God.
Yeah, instead of stones, it was people.
Yeah, 5 pure heart Saiyans.
All with different color sets. Yeah. Well, okay. So, I mean, all right. Okay, we'll go to the next one on that one, though. That was a pretty good one, though, for it. Mike, you got one for us?
Well, I got a little debate, a little versus debate.
Okay.
Now, Ben 10, Omnitrix Control versus the whole UA squad. Could he win?
So Ben 10 I'm assuming with all of his aliens versus the UA.
Ben 10.
My Hero Is it Ben 10?
I think it depends. It depends on where they're at. If you're talking all of them at their peaks,
That's Ben 10. Ben 10 still wins that. Ben 10 goes Alien X. It's a wrap. You go Alien X, you're damn near cheating. It's a wrap.
But that's if he even uses them. Because
That's if he uses them. But guess what? He don't have to use them, bro. Remember when he's grown, he's the problem. So I was just talking about like teenage Ben right now. You know, so teenage Ben is still a problem to deal with because he gonna have his strongest fights against Bakugo and your boy Deku. But more than that, once you actually deal with them, bro, you're good. You could turn to so many different aliens. They don't even know how to deal with you for real. You know, and then once you go to that ultimate alien, like I said, it's a wrap. Alien X just ain't nothing that they could do can top Alien X. Yeah, sure, Alien X might not do anything. There's a chance. So but there's still other people that get down as aliens. You know, when it come to the multiverse. I mean, the multiverse, the Omnitrix. I mean, there's plenty of aliens in there that he don't even show up. If Ben 10 started off as an anime first, it would have been better. And that's what I'm going to talk about.
Because besides even what was the teenage version? What was that one episode when he went Ben 10,000? I was like, bro, that's overpowered. 10,000 aliens,
bro. If it started off as an anime, we would seen so many different aliens. It was only because it was a cartoon that they were showing us the same one over and over again to drive toy sales, so that we're gonna keep showing you this over and over again, so you go buy the toy or you go do this and that. But technically, if they start off as an anime, man, we would have seen so many versions, so many different aliens, probably a different one every show. Maybe with some recurring every now and then, but we would have definitely seen so many different ones, you know. But yeah, that's why I think it'll win.
Yeah.
What about you, Saul? You got one?
About what, Ben 10?
No, not about anything. I'm talking about like it's your turn to go.
About something. The only thing I've been hearing about is that healthcare work, that whatever president do. That's the only thing I've been hearing about.
No, that's not really the type of topic, but like.
That's the only thing. Well, you need to rephrase what you're saying. You said what you heard about. That's
no.
You're talking about Ben 10 versus the UA students from My Hero Academia. Who's going to win that fight?
No, we're just talking about now. Does he have anyone to like any scenario to throw at us?
Okay, I haven't watched Ben 10 that much, and I haven't watched My Hero Academia, so I have no comment on it.
Then what scenario do you have specifically, like a superpower debate scenario or something like that people are always talking about, where it's like, you know, that's kind of the whole gist of it.
I do not know.
Like, for example, like I was going to say on my turn or something like that, people are debating which one is stronger, the new Captain America or Steve Captain America.
You mean the Falcon Captain versus the original Captain America?
Mm-hmm.
I think the old Captain America will beat him because the old Captain America is old school. He has tactics, you know.
But
he fought in World War II.
But that's my point. That's what we're talking about. Like, just bringing up one of those scenarios, or just generally, you know, just a topic, just on that topic. Because I'm not going to talk about that one because we already know technically Cap, like Falcon good and all. He good, but he ain't Cap because Cap got that serum in him, and that just kind of you know makes it different all the way from the jump. Even if he does have a vibranium suit now,
I mean,
you know.
Well, yeah, he got a vibranium suit. He's flying around. He's basically like a jet. He could slice you with that suit. That's basically a Megatronic angel right there.
No, he's cold. He's just still not Steve because like that strength is the difference. You know, it makes a difference maker.
And plus, he hasn't mastered the shield. Look what happened in that one episode. He threw the shield and he got blocked by a chair.
Well, technically, did you see all the Marvel show?
Well, I seen the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I seen some of the Wanda. Hell no, I didn't see that trash ass She-Hulk. I seen. I think that the She-Hulk. I didn't want to see that. I haven't watched. Sorry about that. And I haven't watched that yet. That's it. There's not really that much shows.
Well, I was just talking about specifically the Captain Marvel. I mean, the Captain America Captain America and Winter Soldier show, because in that one they showed a scene where Bucky and Falcon were basically training, and he saw Falcon get way better with the shield.
Yeah, he saw him get better by bouncing the shield off a tree. You know, basically ricocheting that shit.
That's just showing you he putting in work.
Yeah, he putting in work, but you know, it's how you use it too. You know, Cap Cap had more experience. He used Thor hammer and the shield and created a shockwave behind Thanos. You know.
Well, Cap because Cap is different like that. You feel me? He did all that on the spot, bro. That's different. That's like Steph Curry
that's called
on the
combat
spot. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like, bro, like you just gonna pick up and start showing out with a shield like that. You ain't never picked this up before, bro. Like I probably would have been like, hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie, like let's talk about that scene.
No, like I said,
when you picked up my sword like that, bro. Like, when you hiding the techniques? Why don't you carry a sword already, bro? What's stopping you? Like, what's stopping you from putting something on your other arm? Matter of fact, like, bro, what the fuck? I kind of would have. If I was Thor, I would have went crazy on him. Like, bro, what? Like, you went, bro. You had that shit like you.
Cap does roll out with a gun. He does have an.
He does have it. Sometimes he does. Yeah, he does. See, that's what I'm saying. Cap be shooting people. They don't be rubber bullets either.
I think he got that classic 45.
Okay, Captain America gonna kill you. But anyway,
Cat was fighting in World War II. That was like the boomer days.
That's what I'm saying. You know? He's got that old 1911 9mm kills the body, but 45 will kill the soul.
Boomer, shit, as soon as they were born, they started working during that age.
Hey guys, this is just me or X-Men basically about 2 colleges recruiting mutants and trying to find the best D1 crash out.
2 colleges? What's the other college? I know one is Xavier. What's the other one?
Whatever Magneto University is.
Magneto University? That's a plan right there he got.
So think about it.
He ain't got no college.
Think about it.
He got a twin.
Think about it, bro. If you were a mutant, right now, bro, if all of us were mutants, I guarantee you, Professor X or Magneto would be trying to scout us. Hey, yo, I heard about you. You done dropped 40 kills around that walk over there.
I'm Professor X. Because he got food and he live in the mansion. I'm gonna live luxurious.
Hey, I'm about to say, shoot, the other ones, they live like, you know. But you know what, though?
I'm not joining no racist brotherhood.
But you know what, though?
It's like Freezer Force.
No, not even. It's not kind of even racist. Well, it's kind of racist. It's not even racist. It's kind of like species.
No, it's not even that. Like Magneto's whole thing was, we're gonna fight for equality. Like we're fighting for that shit. Whereas we're Dr. X or Professor X. I said Dr. X.
Dr. King.
Shut up. But that's what it was based off of. That's what it was based off of.
I mean,
see, Magneto took his ideology from the Nazis because remember he's Jewish. He was a Nazi concentration camp. So he took their ideology and just made it into a mutant. You know, just turn it around on them instead of humans.
But to be honest, like no, everybody technically agrees with Magneto. We just don't like the fact that we're not mutants with him.
Yeah,
bro, that's all it really is. Because like he don't got no problem with you if you're a mutant.
He is right. Yeah, he's technically right. The humans will turn their backs on and try to kill us all because we are superior. Because we are, like I'm a fucking mutant right now. Because the mutants are superior, you know?
Boy, it sound like Venom.
Mutants are superior.
Fireballs at his neck.
I'm about to turn the Magneto up in the Anyway.
My boy said we are.
Humans always fear what they don't understand, you know?
No, for real.
Magneto does have a point though. You be somebody that could teleport anywhere, go through walls. You be scared shit too. Shit, what about some psychopath can go through your wall while you sleeping? Oh, you dead. You dead on that.
Or you're in the middle of taking a dump and this guy just pops in. He's like, "Hey, get spare toilet paper."
Hey, you don't got no paper toilet. Oh, the whole thing, bro. You just pull one out and say, "Here." I don't want that neighbor. Shit.
Nah, I mean, it's justifiable for sure. Like, you know, in that world, all that shit is technically justifiable, but it just depends on what side you're on. And honestly, you just generally have no choice because that shit is about shit that you can't control. Now, they did make shit so you can, you know, eventually go back to, like, being a human, eventually, you know, by making that type of technology. But, like, nobody really wants to be able to do that shit. Like, if I can shoot beams and shit, fuck, I want to be a human for at this point. But then again, why the fuck I want to shoot beams either, though? It's kind of like a reason. Like, do I have a reason to shoot beams? You know?
To shoot beams out your head?
Yeah, like, what's the reason for it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't really a reason.
I mean, somebody messing with you, they take out a gun.
So if somebody's only messing with you, that's the only time where that becomes a reason. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's basically your eyes become a cutting tool.
So look at it this way: if you can fly, you can have multiple uses for flying.
If you want.
If you fly, bro, if you can fly, you can use multiple uses for that. You can do construction. You can do all type of shit where, you know, people can't do because they got to do all this healthy shit.
No, if you can fly, that doesn't mean you're strong enough to lift shit. That just means you can fly.
Listen, can I ask everybody something?
What you got?
Okay, okay, tell me this. If y'all was able to have a superpower, what superpower would you guys choose?
Shit.
The ability to copy other superpowers. There you go. That is a legit ability.
But that's supposed to be a dangerous ability. You could have everybody's weakness.
Not necessarily. That depends on how that works.
That's true.
That depends on how that works. In some universes, yes, but that depends.
Oh shit.
No, you just creating your own universe at this point. I'm telling you, you want their powers, you gonna get their weaknesses.
Shit, I probably have spatial. You feel me? You know, that's what spatial powers. You feel me? I get that one.
Mike.
I'd say similar to, I guess, telekinesis. You can do it, and there's some of them you can benefit with that.
On me, I choose like teleport anywhere in the world. I'd be the ultimate passport, bro. Bro. Teleport anywhere in the world, I'm good.
Man, Border Patrol is gonna hate you.
Boy, this man said I'd be the ultimate. Bro, you'll be basically the movie Jumper.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. I wish I had that power from Jumper. Anywhere in the world,
Man,
ain't nobody catching me.
Down, looking over your shoulder.
I guess if they can catch me.
They ain't gonna lie, they low key kind of trash when you think about it, because in that movie, like, bro, if you could have gone anywhere, how are they on your ass so much? You get what I'm saying? Ain't no damn way in hell I'm a fucking teleporter.
I mean,
y'all.
if they're part of like what do you call that?
I just find that weird, yeah.
Like an
you
intelligence
teleport,
group.
and then they take a plane, they're right there next to you.
Bro, if I leave this dude 50 miles away, ain't no way and tell me that you know where I was finna pop up at 50 miles away. It's just not like it's Naruto where I leave a sign on the ground or something, or a kunai somewhere. No.
Actually, no. The thing with Jumper was you had to know where you were going in the first place.
Group.
That's still cool, bro. Ain't no way, bro. I'll teleport right outside the building. How you know I went?
They explained it. They explained it.
Yeah.
They explained it. When you jump, you leave the portal open, and they could go through the portal.
Oh, that's lame as hell. You want that ability? Well, shit, boy. What?
I said teleport, not the jumper teleport. I don't want the jumper teleport. I just say the teleport. I just said teleport. I don't want that jumper teleport. If you get shocked, you can't jump nowhere. They shock you.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was there. Yeah, their ones is kind of lame. Like, who wants to leave the portal open?
I don't want that one. Fuck that.
Theoretically, you still could do it. You just gotta like teleport to Mount Everest or something. Ain't nobody finna jump in there.
and that dude teleported so much he didn't know how to open the door.
Well, that's another downside. Imagine you're a jumper and you're trying to get away from somebody and you go to some crazy ass destinations and then you have a Spider-Man 2 moment. You just lose all that fucking power and you can't get away. Like, what if your juice is gone?
The Tobey Maguire moment.
Yeah. What if your juice is gone? You can't teleport no more. So now you got to travel all the way back through borders and shit.
Just like Austin Powers, you lose your mojo.
Boy, that shit was fucking suck, bro. Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I got here. How did you get here in this country? That's a long ass story.
Can you believe I was smuggled? That's what I'm gonna say. Can you believe I was smuggled?
From where?
America.
America, you know, when I was in a hotel room, I woke up, and next thing I'm here.
But yeah, man. But that was a pretty good episode for this one, guys. We're gonna wrap it up here. That was a pretty good one. We're gonna come back again Thursday with an audio episode. That one we can tune in, you guys, on Riverside. You guys can be, well, for all the fans out there, you definitely can see us on Thursday nights, 10 p.m. EST time standard on Riverside. Join us as audience members. Submit questions for us as well, too. And we're definitely there looking at the chats as well, too. All right. So, like I said, definitely follow us again. We're on social media at That Damn Podcast X on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and now Threads. You'll be able to find us all over there, all right, guys? This is AC Slater. And, Nick, what you got to say to the people?
Hey, you know me, Nick Mal. Come on over to my streams, my YouTube channel, Nick Mal Streaming.
And Mike.
Stay dangerous. Keep that immune system up, and happy holidays.
And Sovereign, you got something to say to the people?
All I gotta say is, to everybody, stay alive. Stay alive. The world is dangerous.
All right. Now, on that note, everybody, this is That Damn Podcast, and we'll join you again for another episode next week. We're gone.
Later, guys.
Adios.
Boom. There we go, everybody.
All right.
Man.
Oh, motherfucker. Stuff on the cable.
Oh, God.
1 hour. You said 1 hour. 1 hour and 23 minutes. I'm gonna have to charge you for overtime.